Welcome back to Weekend Mornings. I'm Rachel Wolf, and it is Sunday, September 2nd. We are seeing absolutely gorgeous weather this weekend. Harry Stockman in the Bonnie backyard to tell us more about our holiday coming up.
Just terrific.
New this morning, Placer County Sheriff's officials need help finding this man, 50-year-old Daniel Verdon from Incline Village near Lake Tahoe. They say he is missing, possibly in the Truckee area, camping and fishing. He drives a white Toyota Tundra with Nevada plates. Please call the Placer County Sheriff's Office if you might have seen him. Shopping while black. It is a phrase you might have heard before. Months ago, men in Philly were arrested for waiting for someone at a Starbucks. They ended up settling with the city for just $1 after the city and Starbucks agreed to make things better in their community through grant programs and racial bias training. Now, a somewhat similar situation happening in Citrus Heights. A woman was falsely accused of shoplifting at a Raley's last month. Instead of wanting vindication after police searched her car, she just wanted to see a change. And as ABC's Frances Wang shows us, she got it. Clark says the employee who called police on her against a manager's orders was fired. And in addition to bias training, Raley says it'll have to have a third party go over their training policies. Clark is also hoping Raley's will make a donation to a local nonprofit focused on social justice. Molly Tippett's father is asking people to stop using his daughter's death to advance their racist views. Molly was the University of Iowa student who disappeared after going for a run back in July. This was a huge national story, if you recall. Her body was found almost 2 weeks ago, and police arrested a 24-year-old undocumented immigrant and charged him with her murder. Tippett's father wrote an op-ed in the Des Moines Register, published yesterday. It reads, in part, politicians and pundits used Molly's death to promote various political agendas. We appealed to them, and they graciously stopped. For that, we are grateful. Sadly, others have ignored our request. They have instead chosen to callously distort and corrupt Molly's tragic death to advance a cause she vehemently opposed. Do not appropriate Molly's soul in advancing views she believed were profoundly racist. The act grievously extends the crime that stole Molly from our family and is, to quote Donald Trump Jr., heartless and despicable, end quote. You can read that full op-ed on our website. That's ABC10.com. Police in Orlando, Florida arrested a guy after they say he shot up a woman's home because she gave his friend's restaurant a negative review. 42-year-old Norman Alville is a friend of the restaurant owner's son. Investigators say the shooting was sparked by anger over a negative review written by a woman who says her disabled mother was denied service. Her review said it was her mother's birthday and they were, quote, unnecessarily rude.
My rights.
The arrest affidavit says the restaurant owner was worried about the review hurting business. The owner's son, the son's girlfriend, and the suspect were upset about the review as it spread on social media, so they decided to go start a fight or cause property damage at the home of the woman who posted it. This is what officials are telling us. But investigators say instead Alville fired shots into the home. Check out this video from Michigan. A massive twister prompted tornado warnings in several counties. This is like out of that movie Twister. No injuries were reported, but there were some reports of damage. The National Weather Service says at least 6 tornadoes have gone through Michigan in the past week. Yeah, this isn't just a little shower. This is a torrential downpour. The rain really coming down in parts of Maryland. Authorities have been busy the last few days with water rescues. Maryland State Police say crews were looking for at least 3 people who might have been swept away by swift water, and maybe they could help this guy. This is video posted to social media showing one man trapped in his home with nowhere to go. The guy who's shooting the video is narrating, pointing out how that house appears to be moving. In the front of the house is boat in the middle. That house is moving. It's not appearing to be moving. And it's time to get out of that house. But where do you go? Hopefully he made it out safely. The Texas Department of Public Safety released crazy new video of a woman with a baby leading police on a high-speed chase. She's going more than 100 miles an hour at times, crossing into oncoming traffic. Eventually, she crashes into another car at an intersection. This lady has a baby in the car. What is she thinking? She gets out, tries to carjack somebody who also had a child in the back. Police show up and arrest her in the middle of the road. She had an open felony warrant for her arrest before this all started. What did she need to get so badly? I don't know. Formula? Who knows? That ambulance is not on its way to an emergency. Police in New Mexico say someone stole it from the hospital. Officers chased him for about 20 minutes. They eventually used spike strips to stop him. The man behind the wheel has an extensive arrest history. He's been booked 3 times this year. Marriage is down, but education is up among young adults these days. A census study found priorities have changed for young people between the ages of 18 and 34. Janelle Bludo breaks it all down. School time, and we are talking with Amanda McCarthy from Golden One Credit Union. You are all about the students at this point in time. You guys are gearing up.
Absolutely.
Do you see a lot more students right now at this point in time coming in?
Absolutely. Financial literacy is one of the most important skills for anyone to have, especially college students who may be finding themselves on their own for the very first time. According to TrueCredit.com, 1 in 4 students actually graduates with more than $5,000 in debt. So it's really, really important that students understand their personal finances.
You're talking about graduating from college or graduating from high school?
From college. Thank you for the clarification.
Yeah, no, that's okay, because I would think it would be even higher than that, because I have friends that go to law school, and it's sometimes $100,000 in debt.
Sure. There is a lot of things that you can do to avoid getting into that debt. Arguably the most important is really building a budget. Students need to understand what their monthly finances look like in order to manage them. They can list monthly expenses to include food, gas, insurance, school supplies, and anything that's left over after they take care of those bills can be used to pay down a credit card, save for a larger purchase, or maybe have some fun money in their pocket.
That's true. Do you find a lot of students, parents, families, guardians teach them these skills growing up, or maybe their parents setting a bad example and sending them off to college and maybe living beyond their means?
Absolutely. I think parents do what they can. We all do.
Yes.
But there are lots of tools available. So if you go to goldenone.com and click on financial wellness, you will find a portal that's got customized videos, webinars, podcasts, and more. There are budget tools, calculators. There's so many things that help students learn about creating budgets, starting to build really good credit, and they should absolutely take advantage of those.
So I remember going to college many years ago. We're not going to say how many, but there were a number of credit card companies at the Bell Union that were lined up, that were ready to sign us up because we were 18 and we had to get our credit started, and it was sort of like, it could get addictive at a certain point. You get 4 or 5 of them and you overspend, and then next thing you know, you've got $10,000, $15,000 in high interest rate debt.
Right. Absolutely. We want to do everything that we can to avoid debt. So a couple of things students can do is really think about how they can track and manage those expenses. There's some really easy tools. If students get cash or checks, they should pay them right away. Don't hang on to that stuff. If you have a monthly expense come in the mail, open it up, get it paid. That'll help you avoid some of that debt that we talked about earlier.
Some of the tips are on the screen right now if you're watching at home. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. And always loans, low interest loans for students, and you guys have that too.
We do. Credit actually is a really good thing to start building as a student. It just has to be done wisely. So students should look for secure cards, which are those backed by a cash deposit. They also want to look for cards with no annual fee and low interest rates. And credit unions are a great place to look for those, student-friendly and really low rates.
Those are great tips. Thank you so much, Amanda McCarthy with Golden One Credit Union, for joining us. You got to start smart when you're 18 and build those healthy habits when it comes to your finances. We appreciate you joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Harry, I wish I would have listened maybe a little more closely, when I was... I've cut down on the credit cards. Let's just for the record say that.
Yeah.
Well, this last story, I guess you might say that this couple's marriage is on ice, if you will. I'm not sure if they're skating here, but anyway, this young couple in upstate New York got married on an ice rink. It was all part of a competition on Facebook, and they won catering for up to 50 people, pastor, photographs and everything. There must be some sort of a hockey team involved in this, because hockey may not be a big deal here, but having lived in the Northeast, it is huge in the Northeast. I mean, big deal.
You fooled me there. On ice, huh? After such a short period of time. Okay, no, are they skating? They look like they're kind of floating. They're skating right there.
They're floating because it's young love. Just wait a few years, Harry.
The
dark reality
I'd be face down on the ice.
in.
Yeah. Weather's going to be warm and summery today. We'll be about 94 this afternoon. No ice out there today. Then 93. Then it gets, just have a good time.
Big hearts. We love you.
Yeah.